We on a rescue operation with syllabalization called Project Dillification. Save you from your own civilization. It's like we all living in the painting that's framed in flames and critically hanging inside. Are we trying to escape it? Subliminally blazing, straight amazing. Project Dillification.
So you're gonna start it off with
Pulp Diction. We back at it. My man Whisper. I am Ishues.
What's that?
We got Billy Mills over there. What's happening?
What it is.
We back at this thing, man.
So
So I want to get into the R.Kelly thing. I really want to get into the R.Kelly thing.
there are many ways to address R.Kelly
Oh,
here.
sorry. This is probably
Young criminals, if you want to learn how to look guilty, follow that interview as closely as possible. Do everything that R.Kelly did if you want to ensure that you look as guilty as possible. Seriously.
including the dirtbag drag. That's what I call it.
The dirtbag drag. Wait, what was the dirtbag drag? What's that?
What he said.
When he tried to throw the parents under the bus?
Nah, he said, she was like, she said, so are you an older man that loves younger women? He said, I'm an older man that loves all women. All women.
I mean, you know what's crazy to me is how
dirtbag drag. That's the dirtbag drag.
That's
That's the old dirty uncle at the barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Off
Okay.
of Fifth of
I
Jack.
feel you.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put the dirtbag drag. That is good. He pulled the dirtbag drag out a couple
Girl,
of
you
times.
didn't grow.
He pulled that out a couple of times, yo. He did that on purpose, though. I think everything he did in that video, the first time you watch an interview, it seems as if it's somehow him losing control and spiraling out of control and that's not it at all. He was not having a tantrum. I feel like he sort of wrote that whole scene up in his head like it was a fucking video from Locked in My Closet, and he just reenacted it right there with Gail in front of him and thought it was gonna look good, thought it was gonna play well, and is just so, I guess, outside of his own sense of awareness.
Didn't go well.
No, did not go well at all.
Didn't go well.
Put it that way. We're pretty poorly.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, I see it as a typical response. I mean, it goes right back to the Justice Smollett thing we was talking about before. Like, that's who he is. He's a performer. So in a situation like that, he has no choice. He has no choice but to perform. I think he should have started singing. He probably would.
Yeah. It seemed like he was about to.
Yeah, like it looked like a couple times he was ramping up. He probably, if he'd have just started singing,
I thought he was singing.
he probably would have saved the interview.
Yeah, if you'd have muted, if you
I need
muted
help.
that interview on numerous times, it looked like he was.
I need help.
It was a video
I
like that scene where he's like the part where they were putting the makeup on, and he's like still like in the middle of trying to make a point while he stared at the camera and supposedly talking. He broke the fifth plane or whatever you call that, like so many different times. You're not supposed to look directly into the camera, jerk off. You're supposed to look at the interviewer.
Yeah, man.
Eye contact.
But honestly, he, you know, his first instinct is to do what he does, which is number one, play to the people's emotions. Think about it. He's an R&B singer. He don't make songs about social commentary. All of his songs, he's made a career out of making songs to manipulate people's emotions. That's what he does. He gets on stage, his performances are based around emotions, how you feel. So, in this situation, his first instinct is to what? Just like Justice Smollett, first instinct was to start acting, right? His first instinct was to play to the emotions. Look at the crowd. Use your common sense. You're killing me!
Yo, killing me! I feel like he was talking to the goddamn Illuminati when he was talking about. You're killing me out here, man! Y'all killing me!
Now, if he'd have went from that, you were y'all killing me, and just got up and started singing, acapella,
You might have won some people right there.
Right,
you know what I mean? You might have won some people.
I didn't do this.
Killing me. You got me up in my closet, and now you're killing me.
I would save. He would save the whole interview, man. But basically that's
You
what
missed
it
a
is.
real opportunity there. You could have like actually
Could have.
flipped this into a single. You know what I mean?
He couldn't just went crazy. He should have just went crazy. But if you gonna perform, you might as well perform.
I mean, if you're gonna jump the shark, you might as well jump the Meg. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go ahead and
sing it because I'm not guilty.
seriously, think about how many times that would have been.
Everybody be
replayed.
riding with him right now. Everybody be riding with R. Kelly
Because
right
I'm
now.
not guilty.
Listen, he didn't do it because he sang it.
That's right.
Their conscience is filthy. How could he be guilty if he can't sing it if he's guilty? It's not possible.
That's what everybody be saying. There's no way he's guilty. He's just saying that. So you should have got up and sang it. But
I mean, you should have given him this advice before he went on.
His publisher should. That's what you get paid for, man. You should fire that dude. But they retarded, so he's.
Well, you know, all of them told him not to do the interview.
Then he wouldn't try to
all of them told him not to do the interview. Ain't a single one of them that I can't believe that I can't believe that anyone being paid to give advice would give him the advice at this point in time to go on camera knowing R.Kelly and, you know, deliver that performance, because, I mean, anyone could have seen that in the response.
The whole time I was watching that, you know what I was thinking? Where is the Dave Chappelle show?
Seriously.
Just think if the Dave Chappelle show was still running. How much fun?
Oh, yeah.
Dave Chappelle would have flipped that joint crazy. I'm talking about scenes, skits. Skits would have been wild.
How much fun he would have had with that. But yeah, man, that's a funny drink.
I think all the blame should be placed on, like, everybody. Everybody should be taking blame on this one. The parents, R.Kelly, god dang, whoever endorsed R.Kelly to do all these things. All that. I think, you feel me? Everybody should share the blame.
I think the fathers is suckers.
Oh yeah, and the fathers is bitches too. You feel me? They should have never should have never put that situation on.
And you know what's funny? R.Kelly actually, what's SD card for this one? We don't even have an SD card.
R.Kelly himself said he would have came at himself if.
Nah, the fathers is some suckers, man. Cause listen, there's no way. Like, the first time my daughter spent the night over there the first time, that's never happened again. That's never happened again. The dude that peed on somebody in the video? You talking about the dude that married Aaliyah at 15? Nah, bro. Nah.
Got me fucked up.
I don't care how much your singing career, career. How the heck you go? They actually said, and the father's right there with them. I couldn't, as a man, I couldn't even bring myself to be there next to my wife while she's saying this. So, they both said, we went from hearing from you every day to not seeing you in 2 years.
What? I'm a little torn about that particular family. Like, ever since I saw them on the latter episodes of the show, for some reason, of all of the people that sort of delivered information about, you know, various different acts that R. Kelly's supposedly committed with various different women, for some reason, that particular family seemed something about their testimony struck me as discordant with the rest of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that their daughter is under the influence of R. Kelly, has been for quite some time, and she, you know, probably not physically restrained, because there have been videos of her out freely, you know what I'm saying, in public. She could have left at any point in time if she wanted to, but she wants to be there probably because R. Kelly has mentally entangled her into a relationship with him. Right. But anyway, for some reason there was something that struck me as off about that particular family. I couldn't figure out or put my finger on what it was, but something about them made me somehow question some details of what they were saying, particularly the dad too. And I don't know, like, it had a lot to do with exactly what you're saying. Like, why would you go through these means to try to get your daughter back? Why? I mean, like, you should already try to do this personally. Like, you going through Hollywood producers to film a documentary. I mean, that's some real tertiary.
A block with a ladder, with a 100-round ladder, and a sawed-off shotgun with buckshots in it. And I'm going to R. Kelly house, and I'm not leaving until either the cops come here and break this whole thing up, or my daughter's coming with me.
Because I kind of feel like in their situation, with the situation, I could be incorrect, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but based on what we know off the show, the daughter was over 18 when she began her relationship with R. Kelly, whatever it is.
Right.
And he's not physically holding her prisoner there. She's at least volunteered to be in this relationship. So I kind of feel like it's a fucked up, weird ass relationship.
Not
but
volunteered,
it's kind of
but gave away. Her father gave her away for some royalties.
I don't know if that's a different situation. In this one right here,
I can't ride
That's
with
what the
that.
girls. That's what the girls.
That's what the
said.
girl. But I'm
That's
gonna
a
get it.
different-
Okay, I'm
that's a
gonna get it.
different
I'm gonna get into that when I.
that's a different set of parents.
Yeah.
With this particular, I mean, what I'm saying is, I could even if it's a personal situation between R. Kelly and this particular family, I just feel like they should have handled this like to try to. It just seemed like they kind of wanted publicity. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that it's any less fucked up of R. Kelly to, have subjected this young woman to this relationship, which is weird and fucked up. But I don't think it's a legal matter, and I feel like the way that they've handled it strikes me as disingenuous and off. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so what I'm saying is, I think we kind of agree. Like, there's something odd about why they would have handled it like this way instead of handling it, whether it's showing up in a fucking ladder and a Glock or having 20 homies, whatever.
Both of their pops are suckers, pretty much, right? Because if I'm gonna be on TV, I'm gonna be on TV saying I got arrested 3 times trying to go get my daughter. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's not going, like you said. Like, I feel what you're saying. Like, I think there may be some truth to what they're saying, what R. Kelly's saying, because he said, like, he sold it to me. Like, if you listen to what he's saying, he's actually kind of saying it. Like, they sold her to me. You know what I'm saying? They sold her to me. Why would a father sell his daughter to me?
Well, I think when he was saying that, I think in that instance he was referring back to that first girl. You know what I'm talking about? Back in the 90s, for the actual charge. No, I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Because
it was addressing the parents, because the parent, these two sets of parents was making.
There's many sets of parents.
No, but I'm saying, but they were talking specifically about those 2 sets of parents. When he made the statement about it sold it to me and all that, he was talking about those particular girls.
Right, but in terms of like what's available information in the public domain, the only parents who have been alleged to have received any payments from R. Kelly have been were that set of parents back in the 90s who the dad like performed.
But again, that goes back to what we was talking about earlier. That's only if you believe that it's only true if it's documented.
Okay, well, I mean,
there's multiple ways that you can.
He didn't really specifically say who the hell he was talking about.
He did. No, I'm telling you, he did. It's a fact.
I mean, he just watched the video. I didn't hear that.
Go for it. I've been watching it all day long.
Real quick. Pause the video. It's just weird because the charges that he's currently facing aren't concerning those things. But it's not necessarily just about those charges, because he's also facing charges for $160,000 in unpaid child support or something like that. So there's a lot going on. It is all connected, because at the same time he's facing charges for all of these multiple infractions dealing with sexual deviancy as it pertains to minors, right? But what makes it relevant is that they even needed to have paid them anybody. If they're like adults, if those girls are adults when they start their interactions with them, why would they?
But if he's saying sold it to, he may not be necessarily saying I walked up and I paid this amount of money and they gave me a receipt, like it was an actual transaction. What he's saying is, for 2 years they haven't really said anything because they were receiving money from it. They were receiving gifts. They were getting, they were probably getting fly stuff for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Somebody probably got a car out of the situation or whatever, just to keep things, to keep the noise down. I'm not saying whether that's true or not. I'm saying I'm inclined to believe that when there's nothing at services saying that the father went over there with a shotgun 2 days after his daughter spent the night at a known pedophile's crib.
I mean, he's super broke. I mean,
who?
R. Kelly. Maybe he ran out of money, and that's why they decided to come out to begin with.
Who? R. Kelly ran out of money? R. Kelly ain't run out.
Like,
I mean, he ran out of money.
If what you're saying is correct, assuming that what you're saying is correct,
his money.
And R. Kelly was specifically referring to these 2 girls for whom he was receiving no criminal charges, but he is talking about them, and he's just trying to basically say that the parents who have come out public are full of shit. You can't believe those dads because they sold their daughters to me. Right. So if that's true, perhaps then maybe he was making regular payments and just was like, fuck it, he ran out of money so he couldn't make the payments anymore.
Possible.
And that's why they decided to
Possible.
show up and...
Possible. I'm not, I mean, they're saying, I mean, I'm
either
not
way, it
saying, I'm not
doesn't
saying
change
which
the
one I
difference.
agree.
It doesn't really change the fact that R. Kelly was having to pay for the relationships of women that he was involved with, whether it's their family or whatever. I mean, he was basically purchasing women for. I mean, how do you purchase someone? How do you pay for someone?
He basically
It's
promising
ridiculous.
them a career boost, like promising them girls a career boost, and they're like, you know,
That was part of it.
That's it.
That was
That
part of
was
it.
part of it, you know.
And the thing about it is, see, me, and this is where this is where I have a certain level of understanding that like y'all don't have. I have a 19-year-old daughter, right? And when Chi Ali said, the girls look so good, but their brain is not ready. KRS-One said it also. Well, she said it first. The girls look so good, but their brains is not ready. And in my song, I actually said, and if you don't believe me, you can ask R.Kelly. And I did that. I did that a year ago.
Well, he doesn't want their hairs to be ready.
You know what I'm saying? I actually used that same line. The girls look so good, but their brains is not ready. I don't know. And if you don't believe me, you can ask R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is 19, 20, 21, you still underdeveloped up here. You understand what I'm saying? And there are certain things that a woman is 100% attracted to. Number one, confidence and authority, right? Any woman that's listening to this, if I'm lying, post it on the comments, we can go back and forth with it. Anyway, confidence and authority, right? Confidence, you have some sort of authority. What better authority than to be on a stage with millions of people pretty much worshiping you,
Controlling that crowd.
right? So as a young girl, 18, 19, ain't really developed, ain't really experienced, they look so good, bodies developed, all that, but they're not developed up here. That's an easy spell to weave. Plus, and then you couple that with another thing a woman is attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Not saying all of them, but shiny things. We could take that and stretch that out over cars and dresses and jewelry and rocks and all that other stuff, right? So if you have the means to pamper them and to buy them all the things they want and to, put them in these plush hotels and do all this and that, that's an easy spell to weave to a girl who looks like a full-fledged adult, but still not, experienced enough or mentally capable enough to fall to see the trap being laid out by an older man who is much more sophisticated and been doing this a very long time. This game is refined. He's been doing this since the 80s and the 90s. R. Kelly been doing this. It's documented. He married Aaliyah at 15. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very hard. That's something hard to overcome for somebody, a young girl that's 19, 20, 21.
Well, I mean, considering, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think, although while I look at R. Kelly, even pretty much ever since the 1990s, my first interaction with him was that he was marrying a 15-year-old, and that was disgusting to me, and then I could never perceive why someone would find him attractive. As an adult, I could totally understand why a young woman between the ages of 16 and 22 would think R. Kelly was some there's millions out there. There are Ted Bundy had groupies from prison, and people knew that he was a convicted serial killer. I mean, so it doesn't surprise me at all that R. Kelly, who was not even convicted, he was acquitted, and so Lady Gaga did a song with him after that whole case. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't surprise me at all that he would be able to find young women who now, this time, they're actually overage. He learned his lesson, I suppose. So now he's actually trying to find women that just, kind of look young, but
All
that are
I'm worried
technically
about is
over.
if they're legal.
Right, exactly. And so that doesn't surprise me at all that he could be able to find a few that would allow themselves.
Emphasis on legal.
Especially since when R. Kelly was, after that court, after his, his acquittal, he was bigger than ever. So like I said, doing that song with Lady Gaga, world tour, various different other albums, hits came out.
Dave Chappelle skit. You can make a Dave Chappelle skit. You hit the
Well, that was years earlier, but still, in 2012, 2013, when all these other, women, he starts meeting all these other girls. So I can completely understand why, even at that point in time, he could be able to find a couple out of several million. You know what I'm saying? He still had, he was still touring the country, and there were, thousands of women at each one of those shows that probably would have been interested in.
That's why I despise older men. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I despise older men who manipulate younger women.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because you know the game.
This is weakness.
You know the game. You know the game. You know the buttons to press. You've been doing this a long time.
Oh,
You're 52. You've been dealing with a plethora of hoes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know your game is refined, and you spinning that on somebody who's never fell victim to your level of sophistication.
Not even
They
close.
just haven't lived long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Just haven't lived long enough to be properly protected.
At 18 or 19, who could be cynical enough to be prepared for someone?
Not no 18, 19-year-old girl.
Who would be prepared for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to, without having seen it coming. Who would have ever been prepared for? You know what I mean? Like,
and not even 18, 19-year-old boys. Like, ask all the little dudes that Birdman raped.
There you go.
I'm getting in trouble for that one. I don't care. But yeah, man, yeah, Lil Wayne. That's how he became Lil Wayne.
But getting back to getting back to the original point, which was that you find the parents suspect. I didn't say suspect. You just think they're pussy.
I said the father's some suckers. The father's some bitches. Point blank. Period. Okay. I'm a father. I have 4 daughters. 4. Okay. I'm telling you from experience. There is no freaking way. There's no way that my daughter would even be allowed to be in the vicinity of R. Kelly without me being there. After what I already know, if you have a daughter that old, 21, 20, you around my age, you knew all this. This is you knew it when he married Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? The last person you want along with your child, with your beautiful daughter, you know what I'm saying, that looked just like the mom that you didn't piped and laid all in, and that's why she's here. You know what I'm saying?
Just like your mom did when you first.
Facts. And you gonna let her go somewhere alone?
But what if
with R. Kelly?
What if she's just left the house? She's an adult living on her own for the first time, and she meets R. Kelly somewhere.
You met who? Wait, hold on.
Before you get a minute, she naturally knows that you're gonna fucking fly off the handle about it, so she doesn't say anything to you about having met him or anything about he's so nice, he's so different, he's not what people say. She didn't say that shit by you because she knows how you'll react. And then eventually you find out a couple months later when she's already actually living with him. She's still paying rent in her own place, but she's actually living with him.
Then I'm calling the goons. But now it's too late. Now I'm calling the goons. I'm calling the goon squad, and we about to go over there and what?
We gonna get on some TMZ.
And I'm just finding out.
We gonna get on TMZ.
We gonna get on TMZ. I'm just finding out months later that my daughter is living with R. Kelly. Oh, with another chick. So he got 2 girlfriends living in the same house.
And she look like a boy.
God knows what. None of them look like boys.
One of them looked like a boy. Yeah. He turned one of them to a little boy looking.
I thought it was.
You might be talking about
his daughter turned into a boy.
No. We'll watch the show again. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yes.
Both of them chicks don't look like
boys. Well, it was probably a little phase then, but there was definitely one of them for.
Both of them.
I think you're talking about his daughter.
No, that is his daughter, dog. I'm talking about the.
Both of them. I get it. I was just saying, both of them are. I get it.
The last couple who were watching the video is their daughter, and he.
The video of the 2 girls.
Totally turned her into a little boy.
The 2 girls. You talking about? I'm talking about the two girls.
Man, there's lots of different girls. I don't
No, I'm
say
talking about the two.
There's one
the
girl.
the two prevalent.
Right, and one of them, he turned her.
Yeah, you might be right. But I'm not.
Episode,
I'm talking about the two. I'm talking about the two girls that's living with him right now.
Yeah, that's one. Well, I don't know if this particular girl is living with him now, but like I said, she was very cute before I started living with her.
CJ, I got the dirtbag drag now.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, watch that dirtbag drag.
I don't like those little boys at all. I'm an older man and love.
These are the current girlfriends right now.
Yeah, you can't play that much, man. We get fun. Them two chicks. You said they look like boys?
No, these girls are both very cute.
Yeah,
neither one of these is the girls that
I'm talking about them.
Yeah, they're current chicks right now, I believe.
But I'm saying,
it doesn't really matter.
hold on, pause. Huh? Okay. Where is it?
But I did hear.
What other SD card? What SD card you talking about?
Yeah, micro SD card.
I don't have it.
Oh, you
Remember the last time I took it out my phone and gave it to.
It's over there.
That's this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we dead on that.
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
guess that makes sense. He would have daughters, unless my daughter, a child that might be old enough for that.
Y'all good to go?
Huh?
Y'all good to go?
What?
One of his daughters identifies as a man.
Yeah, who? R.Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we was confusing with.
I don't.
But
I don't
back to
think
my
so.
point.
It
back
could
to
have
my
been
point.
one of those two girls who, like I said, for a phase he had her dressing up as a boy, and then
No, not those girls. That's
it could have been another girl, and it doesn't really.
No, it's
matter.
not those girls.
Sure, it doesn't really matter who it was. The point is, there was definitely. I mean,
I think you're talking about his daughter.
it's not his daughter. I distinctly recall an entire episode of that show revolving around this girl and that family that we were just on the video with. The one who used the family that pretty much more so than any other family has been on camera. It doesn't matter. Point is
the father's a pussy. Because there's no way, that's not even suspect. That's beyond suspect. There's no way that I'm finding out that my daughter is with.
I mean, you should at least be getting arrested up on R. Kelly's front door, getting his ass beat by his thugs, or something. I mean, go and contacting a news, a Netflix, Hulu TV producer.
Yeah, that's kind of that kind of proves a little bit what she's saying. Even though I feel like what she's saying too is manipulated by him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a little bit of both, because that situation wouldn't have gotten out of hand if it wasn't that element exists. How do you go 2 years without seeing your daughter, and you know for 2 years that they're staying with, wait for it, R. Kelly?
I was just thinking, the mind of the daughter, she, like how you said, they believe that they were sold or whatever, gave away, whatever the case may be. So they was like,
how can you wrap your? How can you act? Listen, I'm a father. I'm a father. Once y'all become fathers, you know what I'm saying, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Especially with a father of a daughter. Ask Tom. You probably really don't talk. Yeah. How in the world can you, in any reality, say to yourself, my daughter is staying with the dude who peed on a 13-year-old girl on camera?
I would lose my shit, dude. I would lose my shit. I think I would have to do what you're saying. I can't say I'm not in that position right now. I have no children at all, but I'm pretty sure that I can, abstractly put myself in that position, and I don't think that I would handle that shit at all well. I think I would lose my shit. I think I would use an irrational shit. Yeah. Or some irrational shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Plan some shit out. You know what I mean? We would be getting some, you know what I mean?
But you probably felt like you could get some benefit from it, so you allowed it to happen.
What your word would have been, though?
We need to shoot the fade, son. I need to put hands on him personally, because he was in the interview deflecting off of him, talking about what about the fathers.
Oh yeah.
You talking about me?
He might not.
What about the
He
fathers?
might not know.
He just questioned your manhood.
it wasn't like the dad was there. Would have known that he had said that shit. They certainly didn't show him the interview before the dad went into the interview, like in the episode of Jerry Springer or some shit.
No, they seen the interview before that.
Huh?
That interview went viral.
Yeah,
I know, but it was all part of the same program, right?
No.
Two totally different totally different times. R. Kelly one happened first, and then they interviewed the family, I think a day or two later. They definitely saw it before that. And then she brought it up. When she interviewed them, she brought it up. R. Kelly said, what about you? You a sucker. You let her have him. What's your excuse? But nah, that's the bottom line, man. And honestly, what that come down to, and I'm gonna touch on this, and we're gonna keep rocking. It's just number one, the lack of, I'm gonna say, male accountability when it comes to, children and your family, this, that, and third. And it's a thing that's kind of was created and not saying not created, but because of lack of male accountability, especially in the black community, right? But it's not just limited to the black community, because literally it's in the white community, it's in the Spanish community, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Where, men or males don't graduate to being men because they don't take full accountability of their responsibility. And that's your children, you know what I'm saying? That's their mother, whether you with them or not, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? So there's no accountability. So you allow this situation to be what it is. And now this is what we got. So that's that, man. But I don't want to spend too much time on R. Kelly. Rapist Kelly.
Yeah,
I want to talk about.
I think the thing that focuses on is R. Kelly for the most part. I see what you're saying about the dads. Maybe we could try to like
Somebody sent something to my phone. Said I hog-tied her. I'm not hog-tied, people. Why would I hog-tie her?
Oh my god.
They saying this to my kids.
Yo.
This stupid, man.
I'm the Shogun assassin, flow with a passion, float like a butterfly, sting like I'm Cassius, not niggas senseless, I'm in your defenses, relentless intent to condemn your existence.